Look around the city of Aurora and the Front Range of Colorado, and you will see firsthand what intelligent economic development is all about. You'll see the $1.5 billion Horizon Uptown Mixed-Use Project and the 11,000 jobs it will generate by build-out. There's the new I-225 interchange for the Anschutz Medical Campus and Fitzsimmons Life Science District. There are primary jobs coming from private investment, such as the new Ecotech Institute headquarters. Advocacy efforts for nearly 15 years have resulted in an $800 million Veterans Administration hospital that will employ 1,800. And the GPS OCX project, the next generation of advanced military GPS applications, continues to be funded and located here in Colorado. The pursuit of intelligent economic development has led us to nurture and protect emerging bioscience technologies as they transform into commercially viable businesses. We've attracted infrastructure investments for SolarTAC, the first shared solar technology center in North America, so we can begin moving tomorrow's sustainable energy technologies to today's commercial marketplace. And we've seen the significant return that comes from one-on-one relationships and direct access to our government officials in Washington, D.C. through Accelerate Colorado.
Over the last few years, we've been fortunate to have been brought in on a number of large-scale economic development and real estate development projects. And when those opportunities come up, and there is a need for immediate intelligence in terms of how this project might come together, who needs to be involved, what is the public sector's take on this going to be, and how can they best support the process? Aurora EDC is at the center of that conversation.
One of our top successes this year has been the funding of I-225 and 17th Avenue interchange.
I was sitting here talking to Russ George one day, Department of Transportation, about signage for the campus and some things like that. And I said, Russ, when are you going to get some money to help finish the interchange? He said, why don't you call Dr. Cog? Well, nobody knew about this money. And I called Wendy Mitchell.
In economic development, the pursuit of intelligence is something that's very important.
For us to get the information that there was the Dr. Cog money available from the stimulus fund was critical, but the action that Wendy and her staff put in place to go out and get it was amazing.
Well, knowledge is power, and having the information and the intelligence of where those dollars are and where they were available absolutely creates business opportunity. And again, the Aurora Economic Development Council did a great job of gathering that intelligence and then making use of it and being very productive at bringing those dollars to support this project.
Anschutz Medical Campus and the whole Fitzsimmons base are the most important economic development operation going on in the state of Colorado right now. Our hospital is doing a $417 million tower. Children's is doing a $220 million. The Cancer Center is $20 million. We've got under construction or getting ready to come under construction $1.5 billion worth of things. And as I tell my friend Phil Anschutz, you may want to be a destination, but if you can't get there, it's going to be a real problem.
Primary jobs for us are the most important thing that we do. And I think this year it was evidenced by our ability to recruit Ecotech to Aurora.
Ecotech Institute, the first and only college focused entirely on preparing America's workforce for careers in renewable energy and sustainable design, launched its first campus in Aurora this year with help from the Aurora EDC.
Aurora Economic Development Council has assisted us in every which way we could possibly imagine.
Finding out what their needs were, finding out early on that they were looking within the area, finding them a temporary home in Aurora, and then really securing them to their own standalone facility in Aurora.
What it really amounts to is jobs, and that's what you see behind us today. Several years of work with Ecotech Institute, and the result is, in this really tough economy, we're bringing new jobs to the city of Aurora.
The Aurora Economic Development Council is a key partner of the Anschutz Medical Campus, the Fitzsimmons Redevelopment Authority, and the Colorado Institute for Drug, Device, and Diagnostic Development. We work together to protect emerging bioscience technologies as they transform into commercial business ventures and to keep them in Colorado.
What we have today is one of the largest medical research operations in the U.S.
Each year the federal government puts somewhere between $500 million and $1 billion worth of research funding in the life sciences area into the state of Colorado. Much of that goes into our public research institutions. That research generates inventions, and if it's in the case of a public institution, those inventions are essentially an asset of the state of Colorado. And our goal really is to enhance the value of that technology. And that's good for everyone. It not only creates tomorrow's drugs, it creates jobs, it creates companies.
This year, Accelerate Colorado was launched as a distinct organization that maintains a separate funding structure from the Aurora Economic Development Council. What began as an annual trip to Washington, D.C. has evolved into an effective statewide organization that works year-round with federal leadership on issues critical to Colorado's economic development.
The more we came to Washington, the more we realized Colorado was really not taking advantage of great opportunity.
When we're talking about what we need for either healthcare or transportation and any of these federal relationships, it gives us a lot more volume. And it allows our legislators to recognize, hey, this is important, not just to one or two groups or organizations, but to everybody.
Accelerate Colorado played a valuable role in saving the Orion program and 1,000 high-paying Colorado jobs, keeping the $866 million GPS OCX project fully funded in Colorado, and helping to secure $110 million for research and development at the National Renewable Energy Lab, adding up to 500 new employees.
We quickly realized that just coming to Washington, D.C. ourselves and trying to articulate what our particular needs are is not as successful as working together as a region and getting everybody to come together and supporting each other on what we believe are regional projects.
There's always a lot of talk in Washington when Accelerate Colorado comes to Washington. What happens is you get talk and action combined. You in effect accelerate the presence of Colorado here. So I welcome everybody that took the time to come to Washington, had a great exchange of ideas.
The future of the Aurora Economic Development Council and our ability to continue to be successful year after year is going to depend on our ability to pursue information. For us to be able to find out what deals are out there first, for us to be able to find out, what infrastructure needs we have in our community, what are important things for us to go to Washington, D.C. and advocate for in terms of our industry.
The benefit to our business that we receive from the Aurora EDC is a connectivity that they provide us through the intelligence they gather about projects or companies that are coming to our area. It's very beneficial to us to have a group of people that is working on our behalf to keep a pulse on the community and report to us opportunities that we might see that can benefit our business and to get an edge on some of our competition.
I remember 10 or 15 years ago, DIA hadn't opened yet. There was no E470. Fitzsimmons was a semi-retired Army Medical Center, and Buckley was a small Air National Guard base. Flash forward 15 years, we now share an important border with one of the largest international airports in the world. Fitzsimmons has become one of the most important medical and bioscience research centers in the country. Buckley has become a very important Air Force base, particularly in terms of defense, intelligence, aerospace industries. Both Fitzsimmons and Buckley employ tens of thousands of people in high-paying jobs. We are well on our way towards becoming the preferred business address in the West and towards building an economic powerhouse. And I think sometimes people don't realize just how far we have come in that already. Aurora EDC has been at the forefront of that and will continue to be so in the coming years.